I'm Cory Wright, and I'm a photographer of natural landscape. 6 days ago, I embarked on a journey from east to west to try and take 2 pictures that somehow embody the spirit of England. It's been an extraordinary week. Anyway, let me take you back to the beginning of it all. I've been taking landscape pictures like these for over 15 years in some of the most beautiful parts of the British Isles. My favourite of all are the ones of the wild salt marshes of Norfolk, my home patch. I want my pictures to give an experience of what it's like to actually be in a place. So when the BBC challenged me to take 2 pictures to capture a flavour of modern England, one in my familiar Norfolk territory and one in urban Bristol, in just 6 days, I was apprehensive about whether I could do it. The first 2 days of my challenge will be on home ground, the North Norfolk coast, where I have to get a shot that sums up the magic of this place. Luckily, the landscape is spectacular this morning. I could wait 10 years for a dawn like this, so I've got to move fast. I want to reach a spot on a creek that's difficult to get to, but it could be perfect if these frosty conditions last.
This is going to burn the frost off the reeds very quickly, this sunshine. This isn't going to last for long. Quite boggy here. Usually I come to the place where I'm photographing 2 or 3 times before I actually take the picture. It's like a raid. You go down, you find what it is you're looking for, try and take what I need, and then head home. Right, here we are. This is the creek I've had in mind. Don't recommend coming, those deep bits I went up the other day up to over my waders. It's quite treacherous ground. God, look at all that. You can see all the ice has got caught up in the top of the reeds. Fantastic. This is the camera I use. This is a 10-8 plate camera, and it takes film like this, and the size of the negative is 10 by 8 inches. And the point of that is that it's a huge amount of detail. So all of that is going to end up upside down on here. What photography is all about is about now, and there's something about the look of the creek that's down in here, with its silveriness, with its ice, with the way that the sun's hitting it. It just seems completely appropriate for me to be here. It's what I'm after all the time, which is just try and get the whole thing to feel that it fits, that it's a whole, if you like. I find even those 2 days of preparation and thinking about it and everything, in the end, is always terribly speedy, and rather annoyingly speedy. All the thinking about it and slightly worrying about it. It comes down. Half a second. That's it. What we've been asked to do is to take what I have done this morning, the approach that I have when working out in familiar salt marsh territory, and try and do that in Bristol. Now, I don't know quite yet what I'm going to find in Bristol, and I don't know how I'm going to manage it, whether I will be able to manage it. But the idea is to translate, to take what I do and exercise it there. I've never worked in an urban landscape before. I don't know an urban environment. It's just not been there. I don't live in one. What this show, I know, has a bit of is he's not going to be able to do it. Ha! He can't do it there. Now, I don't know. I think I can do it, but I don't know whether... I don't know how I'm going to do it. This is a houseboat that I use. It's out on the edge of the marsh. I love my family dearly, but it's quite nice being able to be separate from what goes on, the daily life of that, and just to immerse myself really in the place. I can just concentrate on the job in hand, which is taking pictures after all. When I go to Bristol, I'll be staying in the van where I can sleep in there and I make a cup of tea. It's nothing terribly important other than just being self-contained.
Having my camera ready in the back of the van means I can react quickly when the weather changes and I can see the possibilities for a good photograph. But this dense fog is a real problem for me. With such limited time available, I'm going to have to try and take another picture.
Because the mist has come in, because this idea of a picture that a bit more kind of enclosed, but you never really know. I mean, it may work, may not. It's but I think it's going to be worth a try. What I'm concerned about here, I don't think I'm going to take a picture, because what we're trying to do is take pictures here of the marsh as a dynamic thing, as a thing that's full of many, many aspects. It's full of detail. And very often this happens, is that you get all excited about it, you come over the top of the hill, or I come down through the reeds or whatever, and it isn't what I'm after. Very often photography is about not taking pictures.
It's the end of day one, with only one single shot in the bag. If this weather continues, I'm really worried that I won't be able to take the picture I want of Norfolk.
We've got another day tomorrow where we're going to go photographing. I'm going to go and take a picture on the beach at Brancaster. And I want to try and take a picture that is the opposite really of what we took this morning. I want to take a picture tomorrow which is much more about the openness of what happens up here. You know, I'm pretty excited about making that picture I took this morning into a big one, because I feel it represents what we're after now. That may be superseded by what we take tomorrow. I don't know, we'll have to see. Come and have a look at this. We're on Brancaster Beach and it's misty again, but I don't know, I don't think that matters. What's happening is the sunlight is every now and then coming through the clouds, through the mist. We can pick up on my camera here all of these bits of detail, all the shells, all the stones, all the things that the high water mark has left up. I've got lovely flecks of silvery water on the sand. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Just see the sea, just barely a difference between the sea and the sky. Yeah, that's great. This gets all a bit urgent now. Let's concentrate.
I'm always trying to capture a particular moment in my pictures, and that changes from second to second.
Quarter 45.
That sun's going to break through any minute now.
There we go. Cable release, check that, it's working. Okay, all comes down to this. It's done. There's something about taking a picture like this which is very tonal. It's just an abstract. It's just greys and pale browns and silvery light and nothing in a way. But I think with this camera what happens is it becomes the sum of many parts. You can see every bit of sand and every little bit of water sitting in the pools. It's a kind of real place, and I love that tension between the abstract, the tonal and the real. It's quite an exciting thing to play with. It's cold still, oh God.